We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Right, people, we are fighting them until we can't. Again, welcome on into today's United Resistance. It is Tuesday, the 18th of October, exactly 13 days before Mama Heretic's birthday, and rest in peace, Mom. And so we're chilling on a Tuesday. We've got some great guests tonight. I know that one of the up-and-coming YouTubers around here, Megan Lee, she's going to join us a little bit later as soon as she's all home from work and, everything else. And then we've got, of course, Stephen and Janet and Will. And, it would not be complete without Finally, I've been wanting to get this guy on the show forever. He's a legend in local journalism around here where I be from. He is one of the best sports writers in this county, not just this town, this county. And he is a friend of mine. I've had probably the longest friend I've had in life since 8th grade. And it is Mr. Dan Gillis. And welcome to the show, my friend. Great to have you.
Hello, fellow patriots. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the introduction. That was very, very nice. Well, I'm a legend. I'm not a legend. I'm just a legend in my own mind.
Well, dude, you're a legend in my book, but I have to admit I have a bias. And finally, joining us is, for the first time, as I said, one of the up-and-coming YouTubers in our fellowship. Well, up-and-coming, come on, she's made it already. Megan is killing it right now, and I'm so glad to have Megan on here with us. She is a patriot herself, and I really think so. And hey, Canada needs all the patriots they can get right now. So, they do. And so I'm glad to finally have Megan on here because she co-hosts with Steven, and they do their nice little show. When is it, Steven? You guys do that, every Thursday?
Fridays at 8:30 Eastern. Blast from the Past reviews.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're awesome together. So, you guys should definitely check that out. And speaking of people from my intro, Brightest Days in the house. What is up, BD? Matt, Small Time Republic, is in the house. Hail to Godzillionaire. He is wrenching in the chat in Godzillionaire. Thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. I love it. Transitioning drug 3PO. What's going on, bro? Keely Chow. Keely Chow's in the house. What up, Keely? Sean Eastup's in the house. What's going on, Sean? Great to see you, brother. And of course, our buddy Big John. He never misses a show. Big John DeBelvis. John started actually watching when we had former adult film star Allura Jensen on, and John has stuck with the show. Hasn't ever missed an episode since, and watched all the previous ones. And John is a huge supporter. I'm so thankful to have him in the audience every week. And of course, my good friend Tehillim Lakai, buddy, great to see you. Glad that you are here. And Vince Womack is in the house. Vince, how are you, man? Great to see you, buddy. And of course, the Time Prophet's here. Good to see you as well, sir. So we have a lot of topics to discuss tonight. There is a ton going on. Oh, look, Phil's here. What's up, Phil?
Hey, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Phil. Yeah, so one of the biggest ones I wanted to get into right off the jump is, we talked about last week what PayPal is doing, where they, said, oh, it's a mistake, but we're going to fine you $2,500. But, oh, that was a mistaken press release. We're not really going to fine people for their speech or their ideas or, sure, right.
Too late.
Yeah. But in doing so, what happened? Hail, Toback. Great to see you, buddy. Parrothead's also here. What's up, Parrothead? One of the things that was, and I'm now convinced of this, because PayPal sat there and they knew they were going to get backlash, but they put that statement out anyway. But what it did was, if you pay attention to it, it set a precedent. And the precedent is now the brick and mortar banks, they didn't even worry about pass and go and collecting $200. They went straight to deplatforming people. And this is brick and mortar banks. So Bank of America deplatformed one of the most popular conservative Twitter accounts that there is, Catturd. He's a conservative tweeter, big time Twitter influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And they deplatformed him and his podcast host simply for no other reason than the fact that they were conservatives. They didn't say that to him, but they said, hey, we are moving in another direction. We don't want you as our customer anymore. It's essentially what they told him. Same thing happened with Kanye West last week. When Kanye came out and appeared at a public event with Candace Owens, wore a very notable T-shirt that said "White Lives Matter," which was awesome.
He wanted us to notice, and we did.
But the thing is,
never thought I'd agree with Kanye.
Neither would I.
Yeah,
I do think my life matters. Thank you, Kanye.
But the thing is, guys, all right, out of nowhere, really, it isn't out of nowhere, but basically, JP Morgan said, well, we don't want your business, Kanye West. And they essentially deplatformed him, a bank that he's been, again, with for years. And the thing that I'm very concerned about is that this is extended to brick and mortar banks now. So, Megan, and you know this from the convoy protests, when they froze people's bank accounts in Canada, and the government allowed that to happen. Matter of fact, Trudeau pushed for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that set the original precedent for this to happen. Did it not?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I feel like that was maybe the testing ground for a lot of like everybody's watching, even though there wasn't a lot of media and they tried to block it. Everybody was watching, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
how the government was handling it and what they were going to do, and they're all taking notes. You know they are.
Well,
Yeah. So
well,
I think that was a
let's
testing ground.
well, let's be real. This is all great reset bullshit. We all know this by now. I mean, everybody in the chat. Okay, we all know by now because Klaus Schwab has told you, you will own nothing and like it. You know,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's not what he sounds like.
they
Close
they,
enough.
they basically laid out the game plan, and one of them is, we're not going to let you have money if you're a bad boy or a bad girl, and you say, you voice your displeasure with our agenda. And
Well, oh, sorry.
go ahead, Janet. No,
I was just going to say, all this happened in Canada, and then the next thing you know, our government's saying we're going to go into digital currency, we're going to stop using cash, and now we're going to say F you to anybody who's got a bank account that they don't like, and you have no way to take care of anything. Then they come in and take all your shit, and they own everything, and they catch you in the street. That's exactly what they want. And if you got a C in front of your name, then you're definitely on first on the list. They're going to check you off, and you're gone.
yeah,
That's what they want.
Vince
They want
Womack,
us completely gone with nothing.
Vince Womack brings up, didn't Bank of America kick out Alex Jones, the Proud Boy guy, a few years earlier? Yes, they did. If I remember correctly, yes, they did. And again, we're talking about precedents with all of this stuff. It's scary because what are the citizens left to do? What are our options? Pinochet's helicopter tours. Tony, what's going on? He says, "Hey, all, let's celebrate the fact that you will never get a fair trial in D.C. Juries have let every Russiagate proven liar off the hook," and he's not wrong about that. That is exactly right. But the thing is, hail to Joe's atmosphere. What's going on? I'm worried about the fact that. So where do we turn? Megan, I'm not sure how it works in your country. Isn't there just pretty much two banking institutions, or are there actual like smaller community banks?
I haven't been in my country for a few years. I just want to say that right off the bat because I live in the States now. Thank you. I'm glad I got here. There's the two main ones. There's like smaller ones off branches and stuff, but honestly, I don't bank there anymore. So I cannot speak much into this. By personal experience, I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. But see, I don't think they have as abundant a system of like credit unions.
No, not at all like the States. No.
Yeah, like we have local. That's where I go.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because sure, I guess the idea of a small community bank went by the boards a while ago, because you see small community banks all the time getting bought up by the bigger fish. But the option that we do have here is, well, if these big national banks are kicking us out, well, what we can do is just turn around and throw, at least for now, stash your money in a credit union, because that might be the way to go. I know, Dan, I'm going to open an account with Lormet. I'm looking at opening a second.
Where'd you say you were going to open an account?
Lormet Allied Credit Union.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
yeah. You told me you were going to go with the credit union. You're going to go.
Go ahead, Danny.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, Drew, but about a year ago, I worked for an anti-money laundering company based out of Cleveland, and basically analyzing fraud for banks and online money companies like Square, for instance. And we were told that among the many things we were looking out for, human trafficking stuff, drug sales, but terrorist activity was another one, and they specifically wanted us to look out for Proud Boys and anyone tied to January 6th.
Mhm.
And when I chimed in and said, yeah, like Black Lives Matter, and they all gave me the stink eye. Needless to say, I didn't work there very long. But
Man, and you would have been like calling it beforehand. You'd have been calling that play. Be like, look, all they're going to do is buy a bunch of mansions and then keep the money for themselves. Get their family members some nice cars and clothes, and it's not going to go back into the community. We're just getting ahead of it.
Yep.
Well, I just found out that with Square, because that's what I got to do my business, because I make little art pictures, and I sell them at, little on the street and little booths and stuff. And I got it because when I signed up, it was 2%. They took 2% out, right? Well, I just got a notice right the day of my last little thing that it went up to 6%. So I'm getting rid of it. So now I have to find something else. That's just ridiculous.
Square is nothing but fucking. Sorry, can I say the F word?
Yes,
yeah. Go ahead. I do.
Square is nothing but fucking scams and just shady activity. Like I spent about 2 months working and analyzing Square accounts, and I would deny list. That's what they called it when you would shut down accounts for fraudulent activity.
Yeah.
I would do 50 a day, and I would shut down at least 30. And it's just like like a pecking ground for just the shadiest of shady people.
It's like all kind of illicit activity all over.
It's horrible. And people talk about what they call it, the Cash App is part of that Square thing, and they're like, "Oh, do you have the Cash App?" I'm like, "Fuck no." That's
Cash App is the most non-secure thing. It's so many.
Well, I'd appreciate if any of you guys can send me a special, thing, secret deal or whatever, telling me which one that you guys use, because I'm in need of another one, and
And you better do it now before it becomes inside.
Yeah, I don't know who to use though. I got rid of
information
Square,
from.
and now I have no way of doing it besides cash, and that really hurts.
Yeah,
that really hurts.
let me welcome in our favorite former pro wrestler, and that be Etep. What's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? Ladies and gentlemen. I gotta say ladies and gentlemen this evening.
Yeah.
What's going on? And Drew.
Yes, thank you for finally accepting me as I am.
Yeah.
I want to make everybody feel welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know. I don't know if you've met Megan. Megan had Megan on before, but Megan's
nice
awesome.
to meet you.
She is one of our esteemed guests, and our other esteemed guest is my buddy that's a local journalist here that I've been friends with since 8th grade. That Mr. Dan Gillis up there above you.
I'm the center square.
That's an impressive goatee, I gotta say.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. So let's catch up on the chat real quick, guys. Pinochet's helicopter tour says, so what will the banks excuse when they debank the wrong person? Someone with an axe to grind and nothing left to lose. Do they think nothing is going to happen to the elites? Yeah, they really do think that way.
That's a great question.
Yep. That is exactly how they think.
Tehillim says, thing that this is proving is that all digital data is an unreliable source for any evidence. No cold hard evidence saying X is Y. That's correct. Godzillionaire says Mike Lindell needs to start selling my mattress ball. That would be handy. Trinoculus P. Hail Trinoculus. What's going on? Texas banned the state from doing business with BlackRock Incorporated and other banks and investment firms, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, from entering into most contracts with state and local entities. And that's good.
That's the end of Goldman Sachs.
The other thing is Trinoculus says when they start blocking oil investment. Yeah. Canada has interesting rules with certain businesses. They actually mandate that there be monopolies for entire provinces. Wow. Yeah, dang, man. That's definitely interesting. Hail to Adega Outlaw. What's going on, buddy? And, the woke breakers in the house. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
And he says decentralization, period. Yes. The more that we can get things decentralized, the better. Parrothead says center square. Does that make you the Paul Lindy of the stream? Man.
I don't bat from that side of the plate.
Yeah. the Pinocchio's helicopter tour says until 1913, each state had their own currency. It's time to create a black market mint for person-to-person exchanges.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
A couple years ago, I believe, well, it was more than a couple years ago, it was during the Obama administration. Missouri, I believe, was preparing to financially secede at one point, stating as much as they had their National Guard as their active military, and they were developing their own state currency. I'm fairly certain it was Missouri, because I remember it was shocking to hear. I was like, wait, what? But it was just kind of one of those off the wall things. And yeah, it brings it back to that, each state having their own currency. I mean, as long as it's a physical currency at this point, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to just sweep all that under the rug with
Missouri on in the
everything
Civil War?
digital.
I still, to this day, don't know that.
No, but they don't know in
Solid.
Missouri.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with that. Like, is it much of a threat if the 12 people of Missouri threaten to secede?
Yeah. Pinochet's said Missouri today divested from BlackRock. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
Me and my big mouth.
I guess they got some balls in Missouri.
Small Bear Republic says we need Dan
Here.
to put on a Yankees hat in order to win.
Let me tell
I'll give him.
tell you, I don't see it happening.
I got another one. I got another one. Hang on.
I used to have a Yankees hat. It's long gone.
Put the hat on. Here we go.
Dan was actually a fan in the Jeter days.
I was a fan in the Dave Winfield days and the Ricky Henderson
all right.
days. I'm an old school, well, not super old school, but old school Yankees fan.
I gotta tell you, I was sitting there and sitting there at the poor me sitting there at the bar out in Vegas, and having a few cocktails in the middle of the afternoon, watching Game 2, and that extra inning pitching performance.
For the record, I didn't bring this up, Drew.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done.
Hey,
I was like.
Glinzer says.
I promise.
Glinzer says Wakandan currency is the
I'm
next
sorry.
big
Oh,
thing.
no.
Dude, I'd invest in some Wakanda currency.
No, dude, we brought this up last night real quick. This is funny because you brought Wakanda came up. So Disney Marvel released a Black Panther Wakanda cookbook. And do you know I am not, hand to God, I'm not joking. I say it. Listen,
It's
one
too
of the
ridiculous to not be true.
one of the delicacies you may cook yourself, prepare at home in this Wakandan cookbook, and I swear to God I can't make this shit up, is chilled watermelon soup.
No.
I'm not joking.
I mean,
Nope.
Are you
They don't have fried chicken. They have fried Roadrunner wings, which are basically just chicken wings. But somebody sent me a video of the cook. They're opening it up and they open up to the page and there's chilled. And so last night it got brought up during Marvel Monday on the show, and I'm like, this is bullshit. No. Draven pulled up the download for it, and yeah, here's the entire table of contents. It's legit, put out by Disney Marvel. I'm like, and they call us racist. I'm like, you have nope.
I'll put
Nope.
the ingredients
like-
up during my
but-
intro.
do they have
But
Wakanda
never
purple,
again.
Frank?
The recipe.
Like,
But
You
no,
think
but
that-
but the liberals can't be racist.
Do you think
Oh,
that?
right.
Do you
the most
think that
racist
Brie
people
Larson
around.
will cook with that in her kitchen and read from it? for
I'm going to
Disney?
start a secondary cooking channel and just see how long it takes to get nuked if I make chilled watermelon soup. I'll be like, does it count? I'm Jewish. Does it matter? They'll be like, no, you're out. Like, damn.
You can only make like latkes and bagels. That's
I
all
actually
you're
make
allowed.
really good latkes. I really do. They're fucking
If I did
bomb.
it, I would add some vodka to mine.
Well,
Well, you drink vodka while you make latkes.
Vodka?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is again, it just proves the hypocrisy of the whole quote
Absolutely.
anti-racist thing, because they're
Right.
they're so not anti-racist. So
Yeah.
I want to share this real quick. We were speaking about Kanye West and him being one of the people that got deplatformed by his bank. Well, also now he is actually being targeted by George Floyd's family because Kanye West dared to come out and tell the truth and said, oh, by the way, homeboy died of a fentanyl overdose. And he straight up said this as he was on a podcast on YouTube,
Mhm.
and he said, he didn't die from so
No.
he died of a drug overdose. And so now George Floyd's family wants to sue him for $250 million.
You don't think that they'll have a chance to win that money
bless
after what happened to
America.
Alex Jones?
Of course they do, baby. We want that paper. Give me that paper, baby. Oh God. Why?
I wanna join the
Why?
elite.
What?
Down
Why?
go
Like-
the Wokians.
Oh God.
Megan has never
Why?
been more
Why?
happy to be an American than she is at this
That's
moment.
why they've been stacking the system. They've been stacking the courts for years so that they could do this shit and get away with it.
Oh, it's like this. Like 15 years ago, this shit would have been laughed off the face of
Yep.
the earth, and now it's just this is commonplace.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sue because my drug addict fucking son got killed by a piece of shit cop, and like I said, I make fun of them both because they're both pieces of garbage. I've made hundreds of Chauvin and Floyd memes. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
we had the Top Gun one with them two ride the motorcycle together as Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise. It was adorable. It literally took his breath away.
I found that oddly
But-
romantic. I really did.
It was a lovely picture. But no, I mean this whole we're gonna sue for this. This is ridiculous. Like you're gonna sue Kanye West? Why? Because that's the left. We support black people, but not those black people because they're not saying exactly what we like. Oh, because they're free thinkers? Well, you don't like that, do you?
But Vince Womack says, but the guy who held a gun to a pregnant woman is such a good boy. He would never.
He's a saint. He's an innocent angel.
saint.
He didn't do nothing.
Saint
He didn't do
Floyd of
nothing.
fentanyl.
He died for your sins. He didn't do nothing.
He's the patron saint of black people.
According to the President of the United States, he's the greatest black man since Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
I
And
believe
these-
that he said that
these
so
rankings
easily.
are more than
Hey,
official.
Parrot Head says, a Jew that makes latkes, all you need is to be cheap.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, you didn't see me at
Hey,
the
it's
blackjack
frugal.
tables this past
Listen,
week, man. I
you
was
say-
not
I say-
cheap.
You say cheap, I say frugal. Big
That's
difference.
right. It's frugality. It's just frugality. It's a hallmark. It's a hallmark of our people.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that this is the height of peak idiocy. I mean, they're sitting there, they're calling Kanye a racist. It's like, no, dude, Kanye is not a racist.
I swear to Christ, the movie Idiocracy is becoming oh shit, I lost it. It's becoming real and not
It's
just
a
a
blueprint.
fake movie.
I'm gonna take.
It's just a
I'm gonna take-
blueprint.
I'm going to take a different stance on this. I think this is one of the most American things I've seen this side of the spectrum do, because in the end, what's more American than filing a ridiculous bullshit lawsuit for an egregious amount of money for no reason outside of, I don't even know what to make of the reason for it, but that's what this country's all about. I spilled the coffee on myself. It's too hot. For Christ, who do I sue?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Brightest Day agrees with you, Dan. He's like, it's already past that becoming.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a Rick
there's
and Morty.
been ambulance chasers since I was a little kid. So I'm
Yep.
just saying, it's
Yeah.
they've always that's what they call
What
them.
does he say in Northeast Ohio? I'll make them pay. No,
Yeah,
Remember,
my
There
index
used to
finger's
be
not long
commercials
enough.
on TV all the time about have you been this or have you been that? I'm the people you call, blah blah blah. I mean, there's always been that.
Better
So
call
it's just
Paul.
getting, but people used to laugh
Rondo, the
about it.
thirst mutilator.
Oh,
But not
I
anymore.
love those. I have a structured settlement, but I need cash
No,
now.
no.
Call JG Wentworth, 877 cash now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
sure,
saying-
The guy
Have you
from
suffered
January
from
6th, he was on
mesothelioma?
stage, he lost a lot. The guy from January 6th, he was on stage with a Viking helmet. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Megan, how do you stay sane in the current climate? Like when you see just the sheer idiocy of all of this, how do you manage to keep your sanity?
Honestly, I'm not super worried about myself. I think the hardest part of it all has just been the fact that like my family is in Canada, you know, and I feel like things are worse for them, and it is because they actually can't leave.
Mhm.
They still
Mm.
can't. I can go up there now, but they can't leave.
Yeah.
Wait, you can go up there, or can you come back?
That's the part I'm not sure of, and I haven't found information on that. I was talking to my mom last night. She was like, "We can't come down to visit you still, but can you come up here now? I think you can." I was like, I need to look more into it because I'm not
Good idea.
jabbed, and they're not jabbed. Anyways, I mean, but like for me, I'm not worried, but for them, I am. But at the same time, they are very it's kind of funny. They're not like full out preppers or anything, but they're very practical people
Right.
in that way. And my brother has property and
They're very based people.
yeah, like my mom right now, I don't know why, but in the neighborhood, there's been a lot of power outages and frequently the water's being turned off for like hours. And she's been like storing water, and she is the one bringing water to the neighbors, the older neighbors in the neighborhood, because they don't have water.
Aw.
So like they're storing
nice.
water and they're into growing food and
yeah.
canning it, like all these things that like we've always done growing up. And so
Self-sustenance.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like-
I know that they're the people that would survive, even though I would be super worried about them. They know how to do things.
Brightest Day has one of the best comments of the chat so far, and that is, in 5 years, it'll be, did you take the vaccine during the years of 2020 to 2023? You may be entitled to
Yes.
You know,
compensation.
Oh my
you
God,
know,
that is
you
so
know
true.
who's going to be doing those commercials too, because he's going to make so much money. The Fauci is going to make his return and be like, "Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Fauci, and if you took my vaccines during these 3 years, then you're entitled to compensation. From me, get Fauci's money. I'm giving it away." He's going to be like Buffett's billions, you know?
Yeah.
No, is he going to be wearing the question mark suit like
I-
let's go?
Let's go. Okay, yeah.
Hail to
He needs to.
Hail to Trinoculus P. He says, after the midterms, we should finally get rid of the emergency measures. No
Them shit should have been gone.
It should have been gone a long time ago.
They never should have started. Let's be
No.
honest. It should-
Didn't isn't it in California? They're like, we're gonna drop emergency measures in February of 2023. Did
Well,
I
Yeah.
hear that
Yeah.
properly?
And you know
I
that
think
that's
so.
a tactic by Newsom because he's trying, to keep power, is what
Right.
it is. But
Mhm.
the minute that he's back in power, that
Mhm.
they're going to find another reason to renege on it because he doesn't
Similar to Trudeau.
right exactly.
Oh,
Well, oh God, they're like peas in a pod. It's no wonder,
Yes.
Megan.
Castro.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
the picture of Trudeau and Newsom took together, but oh my God, they looked seriously like
It
peas
was
in a
like a
pod.
trailer for the movie Bros.
Yeah.
Again, I thought it was again.
It's
Castro
Again,
and
again,
Bateman.
I thought
They
it was
are
really
they are
romantic. I
made
really
for
did.
each other in every way.
Well, I mean,
Warm my
It's
heart.
me and you.
I mean,
You and me.
yeah.
No matter how they toss the
But-
dice.
But you guys remember all the shit that's going on, and you can go country by country. I mean, thank God Italy hired that awesome new leader that they have. But I mean, if you pay attention, Australia has a WEF puppet, England WEF puppet, Canada WEF puppet, United States WEF puppet. I mean, there's a theme here, and these are all people that come straight out of the World Economic Forum Young Global Leaders Program. Ukraine, Zelensky, I mean, my God, that is like the biggest scam on earth. And we'll get into that in a second because, oh boy, I got a tweet from Rick Grinnell to show to you guys that is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, it's just, we can see the pattern. They sat there while nobody was paying attention, got positioned all these politicians in all of these different countries' governments, and it was all for the express purpose of, at the same time, let's get everybody into power, and then we're going to make the push toward a one world government. That's exactly what's in play now.
Yep.
Did you happen to hear who the new face of white supremacy is this week?
Oh, I thought it was Kanye.
No. It's Muslims. They're the new far right face of white supremacy because they don't like the alphabet mafia agenda. They're sitting back going, my crew can't go for that. No. And they're like, no. Now these Muslims are the face of white supremacy. They are the new alt right. I'm like, does that mean we're not alt right anymore? And they are. I'm confused as to who's alt right now.
So
wait,
let's get it straight. It's
are
okay
you
to
telling me
hate
that last week they were
Jews
into
and
the
women,
Alphabet
but
Mafia? I'm
not the
confused.
gays.
What's
Are you
that?
telling me that last week they were into the Alphabet Mafia and they just changed their minds over the weekend?
No, but according to the left, they just now are discovering that the Muslims don't like the. They're just now discovering this, but they've championed the rights of Islam for decades, and which is weird because, well, longer, but it's weird because, you know, that religion in its harshest forms oppresses women and they yeet gays off of roofs. But hey, you know, the left is like, we're all pro-gay except these Muslims over here. They do what they want, but they're still with us. Wait,
Yeah,
no,
but
they're
Disney
not. They're not.
for years has been taking, black people off the front of movie posters and put them in the very back. They don't have gay movies that none of that stuff. But they cater to them like lick their ass for
because
everything.
they just want money. It's all money. That's what that's all it boils down to.
Always been two-faced, and they just hate us. They just hate
Well,
America.
I wanted to kind of piggyback on what Etep said because there was a school board protest where there was a bunch of Christian parents and a bunch of Muslim parents, and they essentially banded together and told the school board, look, we don't want the stupid pornographic gay books in our libraries. Get them out and get them away from our kids. And the Christians and Muslims ended up joining forces. And, I mean, talk about weird, but, hey, look, the strange times, strange bedfellows. I mean, we might have had a religious war brewing for 1,000 years, but we'll suspend that because get the pornographic shit away from the kids, and that's the thing.
That's like that mom at the school board meeting. They told her she couldn't. She was reading from the book that the kids were supposed to read in class, and they told her she couldn't curse during the meeting, and she's like, "But this is what the kids are supposed to read. I'm reading from the book." Yeah, that's how ridiculous these assholes are, right there.
Well,
your kids can read it, but don't read it out loud in front of our delicate ears and make us look like idiots because we're pushing this shit on your kids because we're sick people. But hey, whatever.
Vince,
I'm an alt-right Yahtzee, right?
Vince, I did see that, and that is something to be concerned about. So I know. Hail to you, Terminus-esque, but. Vince, he's alluding to the fact that there is now supposedly a COVID variant that was tested at Boston University that has an 80% kill rate. And why am I not surprised? Because, look, that's what they wanted in the first place. So now they're just basically in the open perfecting it and saying, all right, now we've got the killer strain we wanted. So they're just putting it out there, and this is like, and it's funny because the people that celebrate getting the jab and everything else are the ones like championing this news. They're like, oh, this is great. They're researching it. Maybe they'll find out. Oh my God, people are just so stupid.
Well, that's
it's-
useful idiots.
They're brainwashed. They're brainwashed when they're driving down the street wearing a mask, when they're by themselves in their car, stuff
With
like
the-
that. That's brainwashed.
When
My
I see those
favorite.
people, I think you're a Biden voter.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Hail to Kai Emapets. What's going on, man?
I won't even roll the windows down. All I wanted was directions.
Godzillionaire says, first Red Sox fans, now killer virus. Hasn't Boston suffered enough?
No, they have not, and they never will.
Nope.
Even the bomb didn't do it. That wasn't enough for you.
Oh, man.
There were only two of them. I couldn't help it. There were, it was just two. No
Hey,
more.
just remember, guys.
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I
right.
hope nobody was seeing that for the first time. I mean, cut it off a little early.
Well, hey, man, could always be this guy, Will.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
and don't
okay.
forget, he's a relationship
Yeah.
expert now.
If you guys will excuse me,
serious
I'm going to the
relationships till
ATM. I'll be
30.
right back.
Did you hear his little faux pas the other day about he was giving a speech about pro-choice, and at the end of the speech he apologized and then said my mom would be offended because I had my back turned to all these people. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't even know what that means.
I
I saw
correction.
it. Yes, I did.
A correction from Pinochet says the 80% strain was created in Boston. Guess who started doing work in Boston earlier this year? Peter Daszak of Echo Health Alliance, who created the coup.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, but not shocking.
Keely Chow says spending $1 billion on crack would make much more sense for Amazon.
For sure.
Hunter Biden has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Hey man, did I hear something about my son Hunter? He didn't do anything wrong. Everybody's kid argues on video over a couple grams of blow with a hooker. I did it many times, man. I've been in Washington for 50 years, sniffing hair, having kids feel my legs, man. Anybody got a pizza?
Right.
Ice cream?
Go away, Joe.
Ice cream.
Go.
Yeah.
Hey.
You let the weirdest
Hey, the
people in
kids
your
all
house
scream
eat
for
that.
ice cream, man.
Chocolate
did-
chip.
That Russian guy's the worst, though. Let me get my Ushanka. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yeah.
here comes
It's been a few
Yuri.
weeks.
Yeah. So
Oh,
so
Yuri.
what animal will Randy Marsh have to screw to start the next pandemic in Boston?
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh boy, Randy fucked a pangolin. Oh.
Oh my God. This is
Hey.
just so bad.
Hey, now we got Megan in the middle. Megan in the middle.
Nope. Bad move.
Dan, did you just do
Story
that
of
because
my
that Paul
life.
Lynde remark- Did you just do that, Dan, because of that Paul Lynn remark earlier? I mean, come on.
No,
Throw a pair
no,
of
my
hands.
my cat decided he wanted to come on camera, and he somehow knocked my my link and sent
Am
it
I the
back,
only
and I
one-
couldn't.
Am
And
I
I
the
had to
only one on this panel that's never had a cat on camera?
Yeah, your cat's
Probably.
just like he's channeling Dikembe Mutombo. He's like,
What's with all these pussies online?
Not in my house, man.
I mean,
Not me.
Vince Womack says only Harambe could save us. That's why they put him down.
That's when all this shit started. It was when Harambe died. All this shit, because of one fucking bad parent, the whole world went to shit. Good job.
oh,
Good
and
job.
all those people were making fun of those white women putting leashes on their kids.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey, I used a leash on my kid, and he knows better than walk too. He's 7.5. He knows better than to walk too far away from me now. He does. He
Yeah,
don't
I
fuck
use
around.
at least. I used at least
It's
too.
mind
I was on
control.
one. I turned out mostly fine.
I didn't. Dude, I was raised in 1980. They didn't have car seats for me. My mom would just throw my ass in the back seat, and that 74 Caprice let me bounce around back there while she was smoking with the window down. That much shit.
Oh,
My grandfather used
We
to drive
survived though.
me
We
on his
we
lap.
survived though.
Yeah, we played with yard darts that you throw up in the air. They can come
Oh,
back
yeah,
and make
yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Dynamite.
throw them up in the air and run. Those fucking lawn darts were instruments of death, and I had cousins lose ears with them things. I mean, that's you get maimed with them at the family reunion.
Yeah, so we know we're tough.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, there was a thing today. It's funny, speaking of you guys that are around, that are all Gen Xers here. The thing WAPO came out with an opinion piece saying that Gen Xers were the most racist and conservative or something like that. And it's like, yeah, we're the most conservative because we just don't like authoritarian bullshit. We've all been on we've all pretty much been on the screw you, we're not gonna like sit here and follow your rules type of bandwagon forever. That's how it was.
Are you telling me that the people who grew up during the Cold War and had the entirety of the 80s with like the absolute mega patriotism that was going on during a lot of that time, that they're not going to be at least somewhat cognizant of the possibility of authoritarianism?
Yeah.
Trinoculus says
Jarts
rock. Yes.
Jarts.
Yes. They were the most unsafe fun game ever.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that was. And then there were people like me when we were younger would like have our buddy stand in the middle of the Jart circle. Yeah, dude, stand there.
Throw them up in the air and then try to run and see if hopefully who first one that gets hit loses.
Yep.
Yeah, loses is true.
Yeah, man. Oh god.
First one to go to the emergency room loses today, kids.
Oh, and also I forgot those wood burning kits. They had the electric cord about that long, so you were right next to the curtains while you were playing with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
those were always safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I know you guys are original, but I've heard all of these in like the wood burning kit. I actually did hear in a stand-up routine. I'm trying to remember which one.
It was the blue collar comedy tour.
Yeah, it was.
I had one of those.
I had one too.
I had a wood burning kit. Yeah, I had one. It was crazy. Megan's just like, oh my god, I didn't have that stuff.
She missed out. Silly putty.
Like,
I drank out of the hose.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I still do.
There you go.
I grew up in the country. I know all about that.
All I had was my fork that I would occasionally stick in the electrical outlet. Nothing more. That's all I had.
I just used the pencil. It didn't conduct enough electricity. You just get a little tingle. You don't get full on zap.
All I know is that I was never stuffed up until like college. So, but then I took care of that in other ways. So forget it.
Yeah, I wanna get to really quickly. I want to get to this tweet by Rick Grinnell because this was very useful actually in pointing out what's exactly going on with the Ukraine war. And I just hang on, I'm locating it, guys. So just bear with me a second. But no, it's basically, as we said before, they're financing both sides, and you have all this money going from all these different countries to the Ukraine, but what's happening is they're also, financing the Russian side of things as well. So it's all a military-industrial complex type of war. It's just a pure profit-driven money laundering scam is what this war is, and it's to make money for the military-industrial complex, and that I hope people understand the ramifications of this. And welcome back, Dan. Hold on.
Thank you.
Let me pull this up. So this is the tweet from Richard Grinnell. The Biden administration is giving Ukraine $19 billion while negotiating with the Iranian regime to give them billions of dollars, all the while Iran supplies Russia with drones to attack Ukraine. Biden is officially on both sides of the war. So again, it's like we said earlier, this is a Clone Wars scenario where Palpatine's sitting there playing both sides, orchestrating the whole thing. Except who orchestrated this war? Well, the World Economic Forum wanted this war. This is a WEF war. And oh, by the way, it just happens to enrich the elites that are invested in defense and the military-industrial complex. So there you go. But this is exactly the problem with just taking everything at face value, which so many people do. They don't pay attention to what's underneath. Megan, I'm sure you're not shocked by that news.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh, and look, Palpatine's in the house.
Wow.
I didn't do anything. You blame this on me. I didn't have anything to do with the World Economic Forum. I was too busy trying to keep the Wookiees producing oil on Kashyyyk.
I mean, let's be perfectly fair to Palpatine. He actually decentralized at a certain point in time. You allowed for the governors to take over as their own representative rulers.
Much like myself, Justin Trudeau said he would lay down this power once this crisis has abated, and yet neither of us had given an inch back. Well, what do you expect? I mean, look at Bush. Boy, did he have everyone filled with that dumb routine, huh? He was a regular Jar Jar Binks. But seriously. Oh, God. So about that COVID, huh? How about that? That's something. That's something. But I've got contractors to hire because somebody blew up another Death Star, so now I've got to go wait out in front of Home Depot for more labor.
All right, pal.
I got a question before.
I want to go to Lowe's. I don't know. It just seems like
look, all the good workers are at Home Depot for some reason. I think it's it might something to do with NASCAR. I don't know. What button did I hit? I can't see in this thing or breathe.
Oh man. Oh God. Toxic Masculinity says you're correct on the Western side. However, since the 2016 election, when Hillary Clinton said she wanted to start another Cold War with Russia, Russia said, "At that, we'll nuke you instead." Yeah, because they're not going to stand for that, dude. Russia, believe it or not, is fiercely nationalist. They have a lot, they have a lot of national pride in their country. Same thing that, we should have here. But unfortunately, we have a bunch of communists that want to destroy America that aren't proud of America. So that's a major issue. John DeBelba says, one thing that's really scary is the rising mental health crisis that all this BS is creating. The level of despair is off the charts. I hear and see every time I have to run errands. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that, Big John, because listen, they want to stoke fear in people. They want to, essentially crush your spirit so that you're walking around in that like desperate haze where you're like, oh my God, everything's, we're all going to die and everything's terrible. And, I have to submit to what the leaders want, or, I could be next. And they're browbeating people into that mentality. So
they want everybody to be 100% dependent on the government,
Yeah.
financially,
And
health-wise.
if you
everything.
don't, you're a deplorable and you're a domestic terrorist, and they want to put you in prison. So you're either one or the other. You're either with them or you're against them.
They want to take away your guns
or
to
at the very
make you
least
defenseless.
marginalize you both financially and your ability to speak out. And
Yeah.
Hail to Pope Metallicus. What's up, buddy? Great to see you. Love Pope Metallicus. I love Pope Metallicus' name. Dude, that's one of the best handles ever. I love that name. Seriously. But, but you know what's funny, Danny? So many so many of the people we thought were cool in the 80s, like, you and me liking metal the way we like metal. It just, isn't it funny how Dee Snider is one of the wokest people out there? And we thought at one point he was cool. Or Rage Against the Machine, they're Rage for the Machine.
Rage
Go back
for
to
the
Dee
machine.
Snider. Dee Snider was sitting
Fuck
there.
you, I'll do what you tell me.
Dee Snider
Yeah.
was sitting there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom Morello.
Yeah.
Go back to 1985. Dee Snider was sitting at a table at a Senate hearing, basically telling the PMRC to go fuck themselves.
Yep.
And where are we now with this? I mean, it's amazing how things change.
Somebody's got a sex tape or something.
Yeah, we
He's got
gotta
some dirt on him.
Yep.
we gotta
That's
let
what's going
ETEP's got to get on out of here, but I'm gonna
Yep.
let ETEP do his outro real quick. And thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you for having me. Panel, you guys and gals rock and chat. This is one of the greatest chats on YouTube. I'm Etep Okuin from the Place to Be Reviews. As we speak right now, my Halloween Ends review is up, and it's not me reviewing Halloween Ends. It's Cleveland Brown reviewing Halloween Ends. In the finale of the trilogy of reviews as Cleveland, I will break this piece of shit down for you in 20 minutes of excruciating, painful, funny detail. But yeah, so that's uploading now. That'll be up later on tonight. I'm going over to my brother Tony's channel, the Clown World Review, for the Monday Night War retrospective. We got a couple weeks worth of WCW and WWF to go through tonight, and we'll have Going Rogue over on my channel tomorrow. Members stream at 8:05, the big show at 9:05. Guests TBD and TBD will be on. I'll be over on Justin Belmont's channel Thursday night with Good Stuff Comic Skater, and big shout out to Good Stuff is my editor, so hail to him. He edits my videos and makes them pretty. And Saturday night, we'll have Saturday night's main event over on the channel at 9:15 Eastern. And yeah, I'm going to try to put out a couple more reviews this week. No pop culture content this month, except on the live streams, because it's all about, as Lasso Truth says, it's about the horror. So we're doing all horror content, which is my favorite genre. I've got Lost Boys I'll be reviewing, the classic Monster Squad. I'm going to go through the new Hellraiser movie because I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I'm a huge Hellraiser fan, so I'm going to be breaking that down. We've got a watch party for Fallen coming up with Denzel Washington, John Goodman. Great movie and a lot more on the channel. So yeah, memberships are available, and that's it, guys and gals. I've got to get out of here now, so I will leave you with this until next week.
Nice, man. There he is. There's ETEP, and we appreciate ETEP being here as always every week as part of the panel. And I don't think anybody can follow that. But hail to ETEP, and yeah, check out ETEP's channel, man, because it's awesome content. Trinoculus had he said, I guess D will take it after all. We'll take it.
We are gonna take it. We are gonna take it up the ass.
Oh man. Let's see. Terminus did tweet me something. Yes, I'm going to show that in a second. And Pinocchio's Helicopter Tour says, "Rage on behalf of the machine."
Mm-hmm.
Get it right. Get it right.
Fuck you! You better do what we tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see. Here is the
jabbing in the name of
God, Jesus, Daddy. Oh my gosh. All right. So.
Do what they tell you.
I never read between the lines on that.
Now you're under control. Now you do what they tell you.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Where is my retweets? I hate that.
Are you boomering it, Drew?
We all know the words of Rage Against the Machine because we used to love Rage Against the Machine because we thought, I guess we were wrong.
Oh, we're 100% wrong.
Oh, every time you'd walk into a record at Tape Traders, there was always an Evil Empire poster up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so Terminus asked on Twitter, he said, yeah, really talk about this Supreme Heretic. Yep, it makes sense that these leaders are not taking the death shot. It really stinks of the WEF depopulation agenda, and that's exactly what this is. He shares a tweet from former French presidential candidate shocks the world. Macron and most MPs are not vaccinated, and that comes from a Twitter account named Eva Bure. And I'm not surprised. Listen, we've sat here and suspected for a while that, you guys have seen the weird kind of things over the past couple of years of when Biden would have a photo op of getting a vax or something like that. It looked like a movie set. It didn't even look like the White House. It looked like that fake White House set that they used for other stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it was. So there's the reason they did that is because there's certain rules that they have to obey when they are at the White House. So they actually went essentially across the street, really across the mall, to, I can't remember exactly where it was, but one of the other federally controlled buildings there. And they actually did build a separate set so that they didn't have to follow the same rules that are normally, observed in the press conference room or any of those other things.
The Treasury Department's next door. So
it was somewhere. I can't remember where. I just know it wasn't on the White House.
I remember bunches of videos and pictures going around right when the vax stuff was rolling out, and you'd see mayors and governors and other people showing they're getting the vax, and they'd have the cap still on their thing when they're putting it up to their arm like they're getting a shot. Yeah. So I'm just saying
that was a big one.
I didn't get the jab, so, and I never trusted any of it. I just knew something was not right, and I'm so thankful that I had women's instinct to some degree to protect myself. And I feel so bad for all the people that were lied to and that believed it. You
ever notice that Biden always comes down with COVID whenever the heat starts to turn up on him?
That's a hell of a point.
I can't believe he hasn't contracted monkeypox yet.
Oh, I know. I'm waiting for that one.
Well,
he is a monkey.
Biden was just listening to.
Oh, he's the host. He's the host.
He's the monkey.
Patient zero. Hey man, I got the chimp shingles.
No. Remember, he was listening to the guidance because the Fauci said, "Hey, listen, you gotta take your boosters. We got boosters for all of you." I mean, so he was listening to the Fauci.
They just mixed it into his Metamucil.
Toxic masculinity says, do you know about the RS-28 Sarmat / Satan II missile? One of these missiles can destroy a landmass of the entire state of Texas or the entire country of France. They can reduce it to a crater. I've heard of that, Toxic, and I know that they have that technology. And again, we go to the military-industrial complex, dude. They're talking about arming advanced robots with automatic shotguns. So that should tell you something. I mean, you have all this shit right now, and I was having a conversation with Dan about it last night. We are experiencing a cataclysm of shit. I mean, you want to talk about the most anti-human era that we've had in our society, maybe ever. This is it. Well, and there's no illusion to it. I mean, if you're a free-thinking, common-sense human being, you can clearly see that just about everything that is coming out right now is designed either to kill you, maim you, poison you,
sterilize you,
or at the very least, defund you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the smallest level.
I mean,
and we have no idea what's going to happen in the future. Where are some of these young women and men going to be in 10 years? I mean, where are they going to be? Are they going to even be able to have children? Are they going to be all crippled and have mental damage? I mean, we don't know. It's going to be horrendous, because all these people around the world were test subjects for a vaccination that nobody knew what the results were going to be.
Well,
as soon as someone writes the program, we'll live in the matrix. So
Yeah,
it's just
you
a matter,
know,
it's just a matter of time.
It just
it-
scares the crap out of me. All this is just beyond realism. I mean, it's
well, this
it's
is
terrible. It's a
why
nightmare.
this is why these conversations and what we're doing, especially with this show and with other YouTubers being able to come out and freely share information and speak, sometimes at the peril of their own channel. Wes has proven that they canceled Wes's entire channel, and he had to start from scratch again. But to have people that have the courage to speak up is so important, you know. You know, Megan, my hat is off to you, because I know that you're kind of starting off your YouTube career, and it takes a set to come on and like freely talk about the things that we talk about on this show. And I have the utmost respect and admiration for you for coming on here and saying, you know, I'm not afraid to go on that show. You know?
No, I mean, I think I'm not like secretive about what I think and stuff. I definitely have never been super outspoken, and I'm not somebody who is like very confident in speaking my opinion on such things. But I do have my thoughts and opinions. Yeah.
Well, you know, and listen, you're welcome anytime to come on this program and share those, because you know, this is a forum for it. We're fighting the war of information. You know, we may not be something yet to the level of like InfoWars or something the size of Alex Jones, but we're doing that kind of work. We're out here fighting on the front lines, getting information out to people, and putting out, you know, conversations to be had, important conversations to be had. And that's what I think is so good about this show. And then when we have big guests on, like we have today, or like when we have somebody like J.R. Majeski on, or somebody like Laura Logan, you know, that is what is the essence of it, getting good information out there. Godzillionaire says, does anyone read the book Inferno by Dan Brown about a manufactured virus that gets released to sterilize the general public at random? Yeah, it's crazy. Toxic masculinity. Yeah, the Russians have that. Those, if I remember correctly, are the hypersonic ones, right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still confident that we are going to make a difference, and enough people are going to wake up that we have a fighting chance. I really do believe that. Being maybe a little bit younger here, Megan, what is your perspective on, do you think the tide is going to turn?
I don't know. Like, I can't really say. I think it can, if enough people wake up and not only are awake, but are strong enough to stand up and speak up. Not in even like what seems like huge ways, but there's small ways of rebellion too. And I mean, when all this started coming about and I was like in panic mode, I realized that I started gardening, which is such a tiny little thing. But I mean, if you can sustain yourself, and then you can sustain your family, and then you can sustain your neighborhood, and then you can sustain, like, you can grow out like that. I think the thing that people need to remember is you start small and then you grow. Because, and that's how you turn a tide.
Yeah, I agree. Man, that
Yeah, I mean, we used to do, victory gardens during hard times. That was encouraged for people to do.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, like their
Yeah.
whole lawn would be a garden, and yeah,
People
people
would
share
get
chickens.
recipes of they had
Yeah,
chickens.
see, I'm huge on that. I'm huge on the bartering and to be self-sustainable as the best as you can, because
Yeah.
that is the future, especially if the government's try to pull the rug out from under us. We have to take
Mhm.
care of our families and our friends and our neighbors. And the only way to do that is to say, okay, I'll cut your hair if you'll give me a dozen eggs, or I'll
Mhm,
do this for
mhm.
you if you do this for me, and help each other, because then we will win.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like an underground
It's
sort
gonna
of
take us all
railroad
now.
/ black market or
That's
something.
exactly right. And
Well,
it is right, though. She's right. We have to start with ourselves. Once we believe we can do it ourselves, then we help the next person, and we help the next person. And then next thing you know, you have a whole group of people and you're all fighting for each other.
well, and listen, we can make a breakaway / parallel society. There's enough free thinking people that can happen. I think a lot of people that's lost on a lot of people because everybody is so demoralized right now, and that's a part of the psyop. They're trying to get in your head and demoralize you so that you don't have those feelings or don't have that hope, and I lean on I the reason I stay positive is I'm really into doing this work because I really do feel like I want to contribute to saving humanity. Number
Mhm.
one. And number two, I still have my faith. I'm a Catholic and I still have my faith. And I believe in God. And I feel like God has my back. And
Mhm.
um I'm going to go with that. And I want the world to rally, and I think we are rallying, but we just need to continue to put good information out there, and you know the rest of humanity is going to jump in on that. Yeah, there's some lost ones. I mean, the Looney Tunes are going to stay Looney Tunes because they are fully brainwashed and they are fully going to
Off the
follow this.
reservation.
They're going to follow this off the cliff. But
Dude,
there's
they
a
haven't
whole
gone off the reservation. They've opened their own damn casino.
Yeah, but wasn't it last week when I was brought it up in our last show about how I think it was this administration said they wanted people like me and you to start registering our gardens
Oh, fuck that.
and our greenhouses, because that way they know, just like I said, in China, when they were going through and they were tearing out the people's gardens and killing all their livestock, because they don't want the people to be self-reliant. They want us to be under their control for every aspect of our lives. And by us, the young, all the way up to the oldest, doing things for ourselves and for each other, they don't like that, because that proves that we're not under their control, and they do not want you showing other people that we can do this on our own.
Yeah, this is true.
So that's how we win.
Yeah.
Well, let's go around and we will do our outros. It's 8 minutes after the hour. I know we usually go to about 8:15 or so, and we're right on that track. So hail to you, Dwayne Erickson. Great to see you, Dwayne, and say hello to Rita. Love Dwayne and Rita, big supporters of this channel. And the Time Prophet said that they're going after the farmers so that there is nothing left to barter. Yeah, they are. And John DeBelba says no one can ever take your faith ever, and that's true. Your faith is something that you and only you can affect. So if you choose to keep that, you keep that. That's all. Because nobody can take that away from you. But we'll go around the panel. We'll let everybody give their last thought, promote what they got going on, whatever. And we will start with one of our wonderful guests of honor, and that is Miss Megan Lee.
Thanks for having me. Let me see here. Trying to think. Oh yeah, Sorry, I don't do this very often. You can find me here on YouTube on the New Reviews. I do comic book reviews right now, and I'm doing just mostly comics from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s into the early 90s, but not much beyond that. And I do some independent comics. I have a couple interviews with some independent comic book creators coming up, just some smaller comic book creators that I want to highlight. I review manga, and so you can find me on my channel Sundays and Wednesdays, and then Thursdays I'm on the Geeks and Gamers anime channel if you're into that, and then Fridays on Blast from the Past movie reviews with Steven.
Yeah, and Megan, I appreciate the fact that you do like golden era comics, and that's where it's at. Because this is comics before it was woke, people. So this
Well,
was,
the art is so much better, and the dialogue,
the art is
story,
10 million times better.
Yeah, it's way
absolutely
better.
Classics.
And we will go over to our other guest of honor, Mr. Dan Gillis. Tell everybody what you got going on, Dan. If you have anything going on in the world of content creating or what you're doing.
Okay, so I'm not much of a Twitterer, but I am on Twitter at Dan Gillis 1973. Feel free to give me a follow. I'm also on Facebook under my real name and also under Gil Daniels. I created that profile because Facebook kept throwing me in jail because they don't like anti-Biden stories and comments. So I have two. Feel free to add me. And if you like to hear me bitch about Joe Biden a lot, then you'll fit right in. And also bitch about Cleveland sports because it's easy to bitch about. I cover high school football primarily around Northeast Ohio for the Cleveland.com. I know they're a very leftist publication. I'm the beacon of light in a sea of darkness. Relegated to the toy department, and that's where I'm good at being at. So I'll be covering Firelands and Columbia high school football Friday night. I'm also in two bands. I'm a drummer. I am in a band called Wall of Sleep. They are a Black Sabbath tribute band. We just had a show Saturday night. We have our next show December 3rd. It's a Saturday out at a place called The Quarry in Avon Lake, Ohio. I'm also in a band called Made in America, where we are a tribute to Iron Maiden. And our next show is in 2 weeks on October 29th at a place called Bar 30 in beautiful Parma, Ohio. If you're in the area and you like Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, please come out and check us out. I'm probably the world's most okayest drummer. Apparently I do pretty good for what we do, and people seem to like it. So that's what I got cooking. So I appreciate you all having me on. Fuck Joe Biden. Let's go, Brandon. USA. Ride the red wave, and salute to everyone.
Yeah, and hail to Tree Rock Creations. Thank you, Tree Rock, for subscribing to Megan and supporting her because, it's awesome. And, Dan, I could say this honestly about Dan, as far as musically inclined to being a good drummer, he is pretty awesome, guys. I've seen him play live before. He's pretty talented. I actually think he's better than Lars Ulrich.
Well, that's setting the bar pretty low.
Exactly.
Way to go, Dan. You're better than Lars Ulrich. Happy for you.
Man.
All right.
Hey, look at it this way. You're anywhere between Lars Ulrich and Neil Peart.
Right. I'll take that. I will take that.
All right. Let's go over to Will.
Yeah. Greetings, everyone. The doctor is in. Relax. I only mean that in like the same way that Dr. Fauci says the doctor is in. Anyway, it was great to have both. Megan, pleasure to meet you. Dan, pleasure to see you again on the panel tonight, because I've always thought, just like Drew, that the more perspectives you can get as far as true patriots go, the better. A broad perspective, all spectrums.
Hey, I like broads.
Anyway, so that was great. Yeah. As it turns out, I am headed back to New York City tomorrow, my hometown. That's right. I'm not just one of this side. Not just one of those fair weather Yankee fans. Will doesn't have a channel. Admonish him. Okay, thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
This is my penance for interviewing everyone I've ever talked or interrupting everyone I've ever talked to. I'm actually headed back there tomorrow. It just happens to be the state where I really wanted to bring this up, where self-described liberal independent, a guy by the name of Mike Itkes, is running for in the 12th. Yes, exactly. In the 12th district against longtime Representative Jerry Nadler. To enhance his campaign, he has made a sex tape with professional adult film star Nicole Stage called Bucket List Bonanza, which was uploaded to Pornhub. And I always love giving Pornhub.com a free plug. But seriously, visit Pornhub.com. And you can see his latest work, which he has described as a sex-positive approach and a conversation piece. And this will obviously help him at the polls against Jerry Nadler.
Well, it's helping her get off the polls.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't go into stand-up, even positive heckling.
The time prophet says, Will, can you say poiple?
No, I cannot. But thank you for asking.
Oh, all right. So we go from that to the chick that is also classing up the joint, and that is Janet from Another Planet.
Thank you for me being on the show again this week. Thank you, Drew. I really appreciate it. And for the rest of the panel, it was great. I always enjoy it. And the chat's always awesome. They always have such good questions and good answers. But you can find me on my channel. I only really do shorts, and I do pickup lines, goofy quotes, just fun stuff, spontaneous, goofy stuff to make you smile, hopefully. And then I'm also reading my book, Revelation, little bite-sized pieces, since it's about vampires and witches and warlocks and archangels and familiars. And on Monday nights, I do movie reviews with Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division. And on Tuesday nights, I'm here. And on Saturday, every other Saturday, I play live Dungeons and Dragons with Bruce Lombardi on his channel. I guess he's our dungeon master. So come check me out if you want to see some of my shorts. Thank you.
Are you gonna take? Never mind. Are you gonna take them shorts off and leave them folded under the bed?
I don't know. Never know.
Oh man. All right, we will go to close this bad boy out over to Mr. Free Speech Gaming, and that is Steven.
Hey, everybody. It has, once again, of course, been another excellent Tuesday. I had a great time, was following you, a lot of you guys in chat. Once again, just you guys were great, sending messages one after another, interacting with us, interacting with each other. You guys are the best. You can find me, of course, here every Tuesday. Fridays on my second channel, slowly becoming my main channel, Blast from the Past Reviews. Link just went up in the chat. And then Sundays, you can find me over on Ord's World, his second channel, for the Sunday morning podcast, which is actually at noon for me, so it's a little bit weird, where we just get high as hell, sometimes a little bit too high for me, and we just talk about toys and video games and nostalgia from 80s, 90s, our collective childhood, sometimes bleeding into the early aughts. We usually stop around the time that like System of a Down became popular. That's about when we stop. Yeah, that's what I got going on.
Nice. I appreciate it, and thank you as always, Steven, for keeping things like in order. You are like the guy that it just you're like that silent producer that just keeps everything rolling, and I appreciate that. You do a lot of great stuff, and thank you, of course. Number one, to you guys in the chat. Without you in the audience and the chat, there is no us. And that's what I think a lot of creators sometimes take for granted. You guys are the center of the show. You're what makes you are what makes it a pleasure to do this. So thank you, folks, everyone, for interacting and being here. Small Time Republic, The Time Prophet, Phil, Toxic Masculinity, my goodness, Tree Rock Creations, and good gosh, there was a cast of thousands tonight. Tehillim was here, and Vince Womack, and Dwayne, and Rita, and Big John, and Sean Estep, and Sherry, and Terminus, and man, just so many people. And if I forgot anyone, know that I love you, and Kai, and Keely, and just all of you. It kind of feels like what they used to do at the end of Romper Room, and I see this person, and I see that person. No, we're not.
And I'm seeing you.
Yeah. Hey, Kimball. No. But we'll leave it there. But thank you again, folks, for hanging out. I do have my mom's memorial fund still open. I'm going to have that open till the 31st. I have about 4 days. I really want to try to get that money raised and pay back the bank so that the house doesn't get put on the auction block, because I really do want to sell this place and start over. And it's really critical that I'm able to have that start, you guys, so I can move and also, replace some of those things that were taken into burglary a couple months ago and everything else. So, if you can help with that, it's givesendgo.com/TaylorLegacy. Even sharing it out just really helps. Just even sharing that out, because you never know whose eyes it's going to get in front of. And I know that we had people ask about member streams. I'm kicking around an idea to do member streams eventually, and I'm going to have I got to figure out what the perks are going to be for the channel memberships, but I am figuring that out. And then we will also have, for those of you that like sports, I think I'm going to have Dan and Will on in the future, because there is a debate that I want to have among, sports fans. And it's been really bugging me. And that is, has analytics killed sports? And I really want to have a discussion about that. So one of these days we are going to do a debate about that. So if you are a sports fan, that is going to be something that you'll want to tune into, because we're going to talk about not only baseball, not only football, not only basketball, but just, the major sports and how they're influenced by analytics. So we'll have that discussion too. So until next time, until next Tuesday, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And oh, by the way, make sure you catch the Midnight Prism Sunday night, because it will be back. I will do that again. So I will see you guys. Take care. Let's find the ending.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I do some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.